This is day 2 of random thoughts in my head. Do I know what I'm about to say? Hell no, I do not know what I'm going to say. But I'm here. So the other day I posted something, or I didn't post something, but I did do a video, wrote it to myself, or recorded whatever was on the thought of my mind, but it was about mental health. And today I'm just like going in with another uncomfortable situation of trying something that I'm not really good at, but also like I do wish to get better at. So here we go with this. And 1, 2, 3. Okay. What do I want to talk about? What do I want to talk about? Well, I have no idea what I want to talk about. I didn't even go in here with a plan, but it's still recording, and I am thinking to myself, "Yep, you definitely need a plan." But to go and kind of like be a little spontaneous about it, I'm just gonna talk about what I talked about the other day, and mental health. It's something that I never really understood about myself until actually pretty recently, and it's something that I never really knew I grew with until this, I guess, now. But it's been nice to kind of like understand that, but also like I don't fully understand myself yet still, just because I do know that I don't necessarily go to people to kind of say those things, but I've been trying to break down that wall a little bit here and there. Where am I going to go with this? I just want to be comfortable with talking to this, so it's working. The idea is to be authentic, to show, to have this voice that I have, and to kind of like put this together and whatnot. But when I first started this Instagram, it was named a motivational account based off of a name that I had made when I first got into video games, and it was a motivational account. But I'll tell you about that later. But I ended up going in that direction a few years ago. I think that was in 2015. A lot had happened at that time, and that's the one thing, like, one of the things I learned about myself is that I do a lot of showing a lot of positivity in a good way, but it's also like I'm going through a lot of shit and I'm trying to redirect it in a positive way. But because I've changed that mindset, it's not actually like I'm trying to change my mindset into making it look like a positive experience. But it's also something I've learned. Where am I going to go with that? It's a positive experience. What did I say again? And that's when you're like, the fear goes in, and it goes in, and it goes in. This is very, very spontaneous, so I don't even know what I'm going to say. But, so I started this Instagram as a motivational, I wanted to be a motivational speaker. 2014 was a very difficult year for me. a lot changed in that year, and I was just going on a freaking sliding ball effect of pain and misery. But with everything that I went through that year, I slowly was like building myself up, and it put me in this direction. And I haven't looked back on that moment, but it's like it's been 5 years since a lot of that has changed. Didn't know what I was going to be doing today. Didn't know I would be here today in Seattle. I'm enjoying it. Love it here. This is home. Definitely did not see myself coming here, but a lot of signs were always pushing me to come out here, but I did it, and I took a leap. That only happened because I was going through a lot of shit again. So all of these things like happened for a reason to kind of put me here. And I'm thinking to myself like, damn, the universe does have a way of like rearranging things and whatnot. So with this motivational thing, I figured out that at that time I was posting photos of other people's stuff, but I was quoting some motivational quotes just because I didn't know what I was doing, honestly. Like, I just wanted to post stuff just because I wanted to do something. I needed to feel that. I did that for a few months, and then I fell off because I realized I was doing the wrong thing. Because at that time, I realized I was showing work of other people that I do not know. And that's when I decided to get into photography. My friend Daniel got me into that hobby, and it was something that I enjoyed and loved. And I still like do it as a hobby, but it's not something that I'm passionate about. But it was, at the time, I wanted to do it just because I did not like showing work of someone else's. So I rather do my own stuff, and that's why I invested in the camera, and I just kind of went with it. I have too many photos because I have no idea what I was doing, but I just knew that I had to take photos. Click, 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 click. That's funny, now that I'm thinking about that. And during that time, I had read a book called 10X by Grant Cardone, which is actually a pretty great book because it put me here too. These weird things happen. That book actually influenced a lot into my life. The idea is to put 10 times as much effort into whatever it is you're working on, and to just, if you want it, yeah, go for it, but you have to put the effort. It's gonna suck. I mean, a lot of the things that I do today, like, I lived a lot of my life stagnant, like stuck, waiting for things to happen, waiting for opportunities to open up, just waiting. And what I realized back then, I don't know how long ago it was, but I was tired of waiting. I knew my worth at that time, but no one would give me that opportunity. So I decided to just freaking go after it and just go. And I decided to do this, that, whatever I felt like would put me in that direction to throw myself out there a lot more. And like photography, I tried that. It was definitely not my thing, but I still love doing that. It's a way of being creative. Learned a lot, met a lot of people through that way. 10X brought me to the sales side, which was the first job that I took, and actually one of the first jobs I was looking at back then. Or I didn't know I was going to get into that, but I love it. and it was actually the right job, just because to build a business, you have to be, you have to know the ins and outs. And sales was one of those things to help me throw myself out there, but to also be more confident in my work and whatever I'm trying to do. And I ended up overlapping a lot of things with my life, which is funny because the other book that influenced me was Overlap by Sean West. And that book was about using whatever job, career, or direction in life to overlap skills to go to your long-term destination. And that was funny because, like, when I read that book, or started to get in that book, thanks Vince, by the way, for doing that, I took on too much stuff, and I realized I was putting on more on my plate than I normally would, and I just kept juggling things, and I kept putting more things on my plate. And the thing about me is I'm always helping someone, so I'm going to focus on that. Then I don't help myself, and it's just like, crap, where am I going? Where am I going? Where am I going? What am I doing? What am I doing? I have no freaking structure in my life. Never had structure in my life, though. That's another thing, like, my family, I mean, I love my family, hella love my family, but I grew up with no structure in my life and no guidance. And that's also a reason why I realized why I'm very open to other people and giving that guidance to others, because I never got it. So I wish that others could kind of get it from me. I don't want to help them make their decision, but whatever their choice is, like, I'm going to be supportive, and that's how I've kind of looked at it now. I've said some things that kind of was wrong, but I'm like everyone, and you're human, you know, you got to go through some, like, ups and downs, make mistakes. That's why 10x is important, because you're going to make mistakes. You're going to get a lot of no's. You're going to get a lot of rejections. Friggin' A. Still fucking hate rejection, but I'm breaking that barrier here and there. I miss my job right now, just because that feeling of rejection is kind of like, it's an interesting light of inspiration. I'm weird like that. Yeah. I love what I'm doing, and I hope, like, my direction in my life is going to influence other people. Though that's the one thing that I really want to put out there, is that I put so much energy into other folks that I started to lose sight of my dream. And when you start focusing on you, everything else outside of you becomes easier. It fits in properly. You feel whole. You are driven to be happy. Not other folks are going to understand that part. And I get that, because I understand that part. It might not look like it right now, but I did at one point in my life. I went through a lot of shit in my life, but I know everyone lives differently. Mine was enough to kind of put me into this mindset, and I'm glad I went through it. Everything's a learning experience now, and I'm going to take it that way, and really excited to be doing this a little bit more, even though I have no idea what I'm doing still, and probably gonna get some criticism from other folks, but give it to me. Keep lighting my fire up, because I love that. If you're supporting me, thank you for doing that. I really appreciate you guys. Whatever time I've met you, I remember a lot of folks, man. Like, I can't. It's in my blood. I always will, and will always take care of people. And the one thing that I know about me is that I do build connections, and I do my best to kind of keep people together. I'm always coaching other folks to take care of themselves, help them with whatever they need, and I don't know, I love doing that. I didn't know I loved doing that until just a few years ago, so whatever. That's all I have. It's kind of funny that I'm still doing this right now, but this is day 2. In the last 3 days, I've made a few videos, but this is kind of something I want to get into. I have no idea where this is going to lead, but the idea is to get more involved with speaking and using my voice. And I'm going to do it. By the way, if you're watching this, follow me on Twitch, because I'm about to go off on the video game world. Nah. Nah. But really, I'm going to do well. Watch out for the modest people.